Yo, yo! It looks like we are live. Just want to make sure everything's working the way it's supposed to. How's everybody doing? Please let me know, guys, in the comments if you can hear me, if you can see my screen. And we're going to wait a few minutes, just make sure that everybody who wants to get in from the start can. But welcome so far. Let's see who's here. Can you guys hear me? Let's get a loud and clear. I like that. Yeah, so there's a tiny delay probably, but those things happen. Very cool. Glad to see you guys are here. Feel free to drop in, and obviously I can see your name, so welcome, Nick Franklin. Why don't you guys drop a little comment and let me know where you're calling in from right now. I'd love to see who we got here, what flags we can collect on this webinar today. And we're just gonna wait a few minutes, get everybody in here who wants to be in from the start. Having a great day here, by the way. Some automated sales coming in, and it's travel season for me, and that's when I've noticed that automation is crucial, because it actually allows you to go on a proper holiday without having to worry about your business crumbling, which is good. So what do we got? All right, we got New Zealand, we got Denmark, we got Germany, we got Netherlands. Very cool. Welcome, guys. Welcome, welcome. I'm super excited. I'm very, very excited. As you know, I don't really do a lot of webinars, so it's good to be here. And yeah, we got a couple people on, and I think we'll wait maybe one more minute, get the last people trickling in, and then we'll get started with today's content. We got Ireland in the house. Good to hear, good to hear. I'm actually going to Ireland this summer, believe it or not, to play some golf and hang out with Conor McGregor. Lying. Here we go. 2 minutes into the webinar, he's already lying. All right. Let's get into it, I think. Let's see if I can move this mouse a little bit. Northern Ireland too. Very cool. Looks like Ireland is being highly represented today. That's good. All right, guys. If people want to join later, that's cool too, but I don't want to take up your whole day, so let's dig into it. What's up, Mark? UK, very cool. All right, I'm going to focus on the presentation here now, so let's dig into it. So officially, guys, welcome to the How to Get New Clients and Deliver to Them on Autopilot Without Doing All the Work webinar. So my goal here today is, first of all, I want to get you really excited about automating your business, and I want to give you some practical tips on how to do so. It's honestly one of the best things that I've done in my business, because as we will get into, it really opens up your day, it allows you to focus on a bit more fun stuff, and I was really able to replace myself in my business. So the old job that I had in my business, someone else is now doing that, which allows me to do the stuff that I think is a lot more interesting, a lot more fun, and that's what I want for you as well. I honestly think my business is a lot more fun to work with now than 2 years ago, just because I don't have to focus on bringing in clients. I don't have to deliver to clients. You know, I don't have to sit there all day and collect feedback and talk to people, and I just preferred not to do that. So I wanted to explain a little graph here this is actually something that I put in my book, which is already out, actually. And I want to just go through it pretty quickly. So the way I see it is there's basically 3 levels of automation. Level 1 is probably where most of you are that are on this webinar right now. It's where you own the business and your attention is kind of required either in acquiring clients or delivering to them, or both. I mean, as we start out, most of us kind of have to do everything, right? It's hard to get around that, and that's the position I was in before. And then level 2, which is where I'm at now, is where you actually got people working for you, and not just, you know, like a VA, but like real people who can think on their own, make decisions, be creative, like real employees. And on top of that, we've also got systems in place. We've got software. We've got kind of advanced automations that really make a big difference in your business. And underneath that, we've got, the acquisition of clients and the delivering to clients. So that's level 2, which is, again, where I'm at now. And then we've got level 3, which I think a lot of people never even get to level 3. A lot of people don't even want to get to level 3. And I think myself included, at least for now. So the level 3 is what I call the Richard Branson level. This is where you might own the business, but you're not really working in it. You might be kind of an advisor and stuff, but you've got a CEO, and this CEO really kind of runs your show. And other people and stuff are doing the work and making stuff happen and bringing in clients and even growing the business. Not even that's on you. Okay, so what today's webinar is about is all about how do you get from level 1 to level 2. That's what I've done, and that's what I have knowledge on, and that's what I wanted to share with you. So I want to bribe you a bit as well. If you stay until the end of the webinar, I want to give you some stuff. I want to give you, first of all, my 6-figure website, if you don't already have it. It's basically, I made a template version, and we're going to dig into what goes into having a 6-figure website, okay? Even when you're selling services. So we're digging into that on this webinar, but I'm going to give you the template. So, you'll get the ClickFunnels link, and you can, if you want, you can import it into your ClickFunnels account, and you can play around with it, and you can start accepting orders. But I want to give you that. But even cooler than that, I think, is I thought about this. I'm like, how can I bribe these guys to stay until the end of the webinar? So I thought about what are some very simple, kind of 5-minute or less tasks that you can implement that will actually have a result in your business, assuming that you actually have a business that's up and running, you have some clients, etc. In that case, you can take these 3 things, implement them, and they will lead to some type of result. They're not gonna, double your business, but they will help you make a slight improvement. And that's actually a lot of what this is all about. So what makes this webinar different from all the stuff that you might have seen before? Well, first of all, a lot of the content out there is about, especially when it comes to business advice, it's about how to start your business. That's how I started. I consumed a lot of that content. And the thing is, though, like, when you've been doing it for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, what about then? There's really not that much stuff out there, especially compared to this conversation about starting your business. But what happens next? What happens when you've got a bunch of clients, you've got some people that are doing work for you, you maybe kind of done a few automations in your business, but what about going all in on that? How do you double what's already working? How do you automate things, and how do you work less and have others do work for you? How do you have your service delivered without actually being involved? How do you actually go on holiday and have sales come in and have, new projects being started and actually clients being delivered to? So that's what this is about. And obviously, I've been getting a lot of really good feedback on this content, which is, I think that's the reason why, right? There's a lot of content out there about the start, but not so much about what happens next. So I'm excited to share this stuff with you. Probably quite a few of you on the webinar know who I am, but if you happen to not really know so much about me, my name is Robert Nicalius, and I'm a naturally lazy dude, and I think this is a good thing, and I want to share with you why. So not too long ago, actually, I think it was just a couple of days ago, I've got a project manager, and she came to me, and she had this thing that she had to do, and she was kind of like trying to have me do it. And if I wasn't lazy, I probably would have gone ahead and done that thing that she was asking me to do. But given I'm lazy, being lazy is great for automation because it forces you to actually not do the things that you're, not supposed to. So when I thought about it, the task she was trying to give me, it wasn't actually my task. I wasn't supposed to do it. She was supposed to do it, but she didn't know how to do it. So she was trying to put it on me. But given that I'm lazy, I'm like, how do I flip it back on her? So I just told her how to do it, and then she went ahead and did it. But if I wasn't lazy, again, I probably would have gone ahead and done it myself. And that's a a trap that I think maybe some of us can fall into, where you have this mindset of, I'll just, if I do it myself, you know, I'll know exactly how it's going to turn out. I know how long it's going to take, and I don't have to pay anyone. And that's a trap, right? We need to get out of that. If we want to graduate from, you know, level 1, not having automated anything, to level 2, where, you know, even if you take a holiday, things are going to continue going on. We need to graduate into that way of thinking, where you're okay to pay people to work for you, and you're okay to, you know, automate things, even though the task itself takes 5 minutes, but the automating of the 5-minute task takes 30 minutes. You know, you're going to realize that you're going to win time back pretty quickly on that. So my business is on track to do $250,000 this year. I run an animation video production business, for those who don't know. And I work a lot, but on this business, I don't work much at all. If I were to track it, I would be shocked if it was more than 2 hours a week. So I've definitely kind of reached this point that I was very excited to reach in my business, where you literally can make money in your sleep. And not just that, you know, people who run a service business, we know that once you get a client, that's awesome. But once you have the client, now the real work begins. Now you gotta make something for them, right? So yeah, that's me. And yeah, let's talk about some of the things that I've done right. So first of all, I think one of the things that I've done really well was to actually turn my website into not just a website, but a sales machine. Something that, I mean, I got a sale today, okay? And it was a pretty big one, actually. It was like $4,000 or something. And I've got a partner, and I asked my partner, I'm like, oh, is this somebody you've been talking to? And he's like, nope, never heard of him. I'm like, cool, me neither. And that's because we have a website that's churning out new clients for us without us actually having to do communication with people, right? So that's something I've done well. And I've also done something well after a lot of trial and error, hired good people. Not actually good people, but great people. If you've ever had the pleasure of hiring somebody who's really good, who goes above and beyond, who can think on their own, you've had the pleasure of working, if you've had the pleasure of working with somebody like that, you know how nice it is, because they solve problems for you rather than kind of bring more problems into your life. So I've done those things well, but I think the list of the things that I've done wrong is infinitely longer. You know, in order to hire great people, I first hired a lot of the wrong people. I probably waited too long to hire great people and pay them what I was supposed to. I've focused on the wrong things over and over, try to start new things rather than continue and improve on the thing that I have. The list is kind of endless, but you know, after doing this for 5 years, there's a couple of things, there's a couple of principles, I guess, that I've learned and internalized. And one big one that sounds kind of obvious, but it isn't really to some people, including myself a while back, is that someone else can do my work for me. It's not rocket science what I'm doing, okay? So that was, you know, once you actually come to terms with that, it's like it opens up a little, you know, it opens up some doors. The other thing that I've come to realize is oftentimes it's not about, oftentimes it is about improving your current business and not about, you know, starting another one. That's a trap that I've fallen into quite a few times. And something else I've realized is that each automation effort is a potential new client gained and or hour saved. And the more we go through this presentation, the more you're going to realize how true this is. And I'm going to be repeating this last line to you so many times because it's so true. And when you realize how true this is, that's when you really start to, I guess, take action on it, because you realize that, you know, taking 30 minutes out of a 5-minute task is actually something that might lead you to a new client gain, or it's going to save you an hour. But then if you do 5 or 10 of those, that's really like, holy crap, this is really starting to bring in new clients and open up my day. Cool. So I discovered this stuff the hard way, but you are on the webinar. You're going to get to cheat today. I'm going to give you the easy way. And if you're wondering, what does the hard way look like? This is what it looks like. This is me in 2013. I am sitting on the floor in the hallway at a hostel in Los Angeles at 7 a.m. in the morning doing a call with my clients in Sweden. Yeah, I literally had to go out of the bedroom because people were sleeping in the hostel, and it was so, it was 7 a.m. and the Wi-Fi connection was so bad everywhere else. I had to go sit on the floor in this one spot in the hallway, and I'm sitting here for about an hour, 15 minutes, and I literally remember being like, this is so absurd. I need to take a photo of this because one day I'm gonna want to show somebody this photo to show them the before picture. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. This is what it looked like when I was running my business the old way, where I was doing everything myself. And this is me traveling, and here I am, 7 a.m. on the floor in a hostel in LA talking to clients. It was not fun, right? So that's what the hard way looks like. Talk to clients all day, not a fan. I went to meetings all the time. I made proposals, most of which got rejected. Hired without kind of knowing what I was doing. Automated some stuff without, I was trying to automate stuff, but I didn't really know where and how to start with that. And also, trying to scale without really realizing the simple principle of, just do more of what's already working. That's all scaling's really about. So yeah, that's what that looked like. So now I want to ask you, do you want the easy way that gets you new clients without you actually doing the delivery of your service? I'm guessing that's a big yes. Cool. So what we're gonna do now is I want to show you something that's pretty cool. This is a screenshot from the past 4 months of my business. So yeah, there we go. We're a little bit delayed, but we're getting some yeses coming in here. Titan, Steam, Nick, Patty. Cool. I'm just checking in on you guys, just checking in to see that you're still here. So in the past 4 months, I've done $83,000 in sales without really talking to clients. Sure, there might have been one or two, that where I was the first person who started talking to them when they became a client 2-3 years ago. And sometimes you still got to talk to those people, but that's cool because they're usually, if they're still clients, they're usually pretty cool people. But below here, we've got a little screenshot from our accounting software. We've done 749,000 Swedish kronor in sales in the last 4 months. And I honestly have not really been talking to clients, and I've been doing that 2 hours a week, 2-hour work week. Maybe I should write a book. Just kidding. But this is webinar, guys. I just want to throw the old obligatory results are not typical slides in here. I can't guarantee any results, only your satisfaction with the training here. You alone are responsible for your decisions, and you agree not to hold us or me liable for your decisions under any circumstance. Cool. Now that we got that out of the way, let's talk some of the fun stuff. Let's dig into the reason why you're here, probably the 3 secrets that I promised to cover, and I want to get into those a bit more. And this is where things get a little more interesting for you. So hope you guys are excited. Secret number 1, I can make twice as much and work 4 times less by improving just 2 things in my business. So I want to go into a few more details about those 2 things, and maybe get your ideas flowing as far as how that translates to your business. Secret number 2, I don't have to do meetings, phone calls, proposals, or manage any projects. And in parentheses, I hate all of that. As you might have seen, that guy sitting there at 7 a.m. in the hostel, just not really loving life. Secret number 3, I only need a salesman website, within the quotations there. I'm going to dig into what that means, and a project manager to make it work. So let's talk about secret number 1. I can make twice as much and work 4 times less by improving just 2 things in my business. So let me share a quick story here. We make videos. So the typical production process looks something like, we get a client, they fill out a form to let us know what they want. We write a script, and this is the old version, by the way. We write a script, then we would make a storyboard, and then we would record a voiceover, and then we would send it to the animator. Okay? So I think what happened was someone else, I think, had a video company, and I asked, and I found out that they were doing the same thing, just they didn't do the storyboard phase. And I was kind of like, well, how can you do that? How can you send a video to your clients without actually having shown them anything except for the script? You know, clearly there's going to be a lot of cases where you end up going in the wrong direction. You make this whole video, and then you show the video to the client, and it turns out that they don't like that direction, and now you have to redo everything. So that was my fear, okay? But I was like, let's try it. You know, I'm all about trying things and see if I can improve on stuff. So we tried it, right? So we got rid of the whole storyboard section of our production process. And we just did it with one client, and there was no problem. We did it with another client, there was no problem. And I just realized, like, holy crap, all we've done is removed 2 to 3 weeks from our production time. So if you imagine how much you think that saved us. First of all, we're saving ourselves 2 to 3 weeks of back and forth. That's a whole bunch of hours that I have to pay my project manager for. On the other hand, the client gets their video 2 to 3 weeks earlier than they would have otherwise. So they actually ended up being happier, which actually probably leads to them leaving better reviews and telling more people. So something that I was actually afraid of, because I thought it was going to make my my delivery or my service worse, actually made it better. But the only way to find that out was to actually try it out. So this is, again, the thing that I'm going to repeat to you so many times until you dream about it. Each automation effort is a potential new client gained and or hours saved. So here it was about saving hours, right? 2 to 3 weeks, just totally cut off from each project. Just a massive, massive difference. The other thing that I want to tell you about is another short story about the bulk discount. So we have our salesman website, right? And clients can come on there and they can buy from us. And one day we just had this idea. We're like, well, what if we just put like a bulk discount? So we just add one paragraph. It says, if you buy 3 videos or more, we'll give you a 10% discount. So we put it up. That was literally it. Like, we put one tiny headline and one tiny paragraph underneath our pricing on the website. We threw it up. And then I did notice, like, not too long after that, we actually did get some orders for 3 videos. And I was like, wow, this is super cool. And then after about 3 weeks, I'd seen a few of them. I was like, holy crap, this is really working. So I went back and I actually checked the statistics. And it turned out that in 3 weeks, since we added that one paragraph on our website, we had 5 clients order 3 videos. In the 4.5 to 5 years before that, I think we had a total of 1 client who'd actually ordered 3 videos from us. So that one little paragraph increased, the average order value on these 5 clients by 300%. I'm going to say it again. Each automation effort is a potential new client gained and or hours saved. So here, maybe it wasn't so much that we got a new client, but we got a 300% increase in how much those clients actually ordered. So those 2 things that I was talking about, if you make continuous improvements to your sales process and your delivery process, you're going to have these small things, and they're just going to stack on top of each other. Like, all of a sudden we had 5 clients in 3 weeks that ordered 3 times as much as they would have if we didn't have that little paragraph. And on the delivery side of things, we cut it 2 to 3 weeks by removing something, delivered faster, they were happier, probably told more friends and gave a better review. And as you can see, just improving those 2 things really, really makes a big difference. So that's pretty cool, right? I mean, just those tiny things can actually have a massive, massive impact. Pretty cool. Very cool, guys. Let's talk about secret number 2. I don't have to do meetings, phone calls, proposals, or manage any projects. I hate all of that. You saw the guy on the floor. He wasn't a fan. And yeah, let's talk about how that came to be. So the funny thing about, whenever I tell stories about, my automation successes, it's always when I'm I always realize what's happened or the improvements that I made when I go on holiday. Because when I'm at the computer and I'm working, it's just a normal work day. But when I'm actually away from the computer, when I'm on holiday or something, that's when I am not working. And that's when I kind of realize that, holy crap, things are still moving ahead. Clients are still coming in and clients are still being delivered to. So this Malta holiday was kind of like, I'm sure you guys have a lot of those moments in your life where you kind of feel like it takes a bit of a turn for the better, hopefully. And this was one of those for me, because when I went to Malta with my girlfriend, I was still that guy on the floor in the hostel. I was still that guy who was talking to clients all day, going to meetings and doing stupid proposals and stuff like that. I was still that guy. But I had hired somebody that was going to help me with that. I just didn't give her enough work yet. It was kind of scary, right, to delegate stuff. And again, as we talked about before, when you do the work, it's very easy because you know what you're going to get, you know how long it's going to take, you don't have to pay anyone, blah, blah, blah. But I was going on holiday, girlfriend's like, you got to take some time off. I'm like, all right, I'll try. I tell my project manager, just do your best, try to keep us above water. And here's me checking into Malta. Awesome photo. I'm like, love this one. Just check my email. Assistant has everything under control. Such a hero. So what happened was, things were just continuing as usual. I would check my email once a day. Inbox would be full as always, 30 new emails or something. And as I was just going through them one by another, one after the other, it turns out that everything was under control. All the tiny little problems that came up, all the feedback that came in, and all the clients that needed to be started on their new projects, it was all handled by my project manager. And it was such a big moment for me, because that's when I realized that one realization I talked about earlier, that someone else can do my work for me. So that was a great feeling. And from that point on, I realized that I have to do more of this. I have to set this up in an even better way. So this is totally handled by someone else. Again, guys, each automation effort is a potential new client gained and or hour saved. So how many hours do you think that saved me actually hiring somebody to take care of the whole delivery process? Because that's pretty much what happened. As soon as I came back from Malta, I had a chat with my project manager. I'm like, you did absolutely awesome. Let's continue like this for a little bit more, and then I'll give you it'll be your whole responsibility. So just shortly after that, she totally took over delivery, and I basically haven't touched it since. So pretty nice place to be in, don't you think? I mean, I certainly loved it from my side of things. So let's chat about secret number 3. I only need a salesman website and a project manager to make it work. So we talked about the project manager, right? But what about the salesman website? Now, this is a big one, especially for those of us who sell services online. I see a lot of websites, right, where there's not even a lot. There's a little bit of information, and then you gotta contact somebody, and you gotta start this whole process. So let me tell you the story about this Audi that's in the photo. It's actually our Audi that we bought a few months ago. What happened was, we go to the Audi dealership, we go into the showroom, and we don't even know which car we want. We're just going in there, we're going to look, we just know that we need a car. We're checking out the different Audis, we're sitting in them, we're playing with the buttons and touching the steering wheel and checking out the prices and things like that. But in order for us to actually take the next step of actually taking this car and driving it off the lot and owning that car, we had to get one of the salesmen involved, right? So what happens is, you just go and sit down, right? You talk to them and you work out the details, and eventually you get your keys and you can take the car. So the problem with this is, most websites are set up in a way where you can't, especially, again, service websites, they're set up in a way where you can't leave the website actually having bought the thing that you want to buy. And when are people most likely to buy the thing that you're selling? It's when they're actually in there reading the thing, having heard your argument for why they need it. That's when they're most likely to buy. But what do most of us do? We have a website and we've got a contact form, and so these people that are on your site, maybe even ready to buy right then and there, what you're doing in many cases is you take this process that could have been just happened right on your website, and you drag it on for weeks because they got to contact you. Now you're going to call them up, maybe even set a meeting. You got to listen to their needs, and then you're going to craft a proposal. Most likely it's going to be rejected, and then they got to talk to their team and all that. And a lot of us, we're just dragging on this process that really doesn't have to be dragged on like that. And the problem, so basically what we have to show you, illustrate why I'm talking about the Audi, is we've got basically a showroom, but we don't have the salespeople in there. We don't have that thing that's actually going to close the deal, that's actually going to allow them to take a next step and actually pay for the thing and get the thing that you're selling. So a lot of us just have this showroom without the salespeople. That's why I call it the salesman website. And that's really a giant key if you would like to automate the sales or the sale of your product or service. And that's why I'm going to give you the salesman website template there at the end, where you can get my own website, and you can just plug in your own stuff, because this is such a big thing, and most people just, I don't know, they don't implement it, or they haven't even realized yet that their website is a showroom without the salesperson. So guys, get a salesman website. Cool. Nice. It looks like that's resonating with people. Franklin and Nick are saying, yeah, for sure. Yeah, so whenever I tell that story, I find a lot of people can relate to that, because I used to have a showroom website as well. But let's move on from that. Let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying the webinar so far, guys? I think so. It's been getting some good comments there and some good yeses in the comment section. Glad to hear that, guys. I've got something. If you're resonating with what I've been talking about, if you can kind of relate to what I've been saying, if you saw that guy sitting on the floor in if you saw a guy sitting on the floor doing calls with clients, then I think you might be relating to what I was going through. And in that case, I've got something that can help, and I just wanted to ask your permission and ask if I can share that with you. And it seems like a lot of yeses are coming in. I'm loving the interaction here, guys. Thanks so much for being engaging. So very cool. Thank you. Let me share what I have, and we'll see what you think. So first of all, in the past hour, would you agree it's been time well spent so far? I would think so. As you know, I can't cover everything that you need in just an hour. We've just got this one webinar here. Even if we had all day, it probably wouldn't be enough. But I've got a special offer, and I want to present that to you, because this offer is basically, it's going to give you everything that you would need to get yourself from that level 2 that I talked about from level 1 into level 2. And if you act relatively fast, I'm going to give you a very special deal. Cool. Now, I've got another question for you guys. And this is pretty interesting, because it's kind of depressing to think about. When was the last time you bought something that actually made you more money? The vast majority of the things that we buy, myself included, are things that actually do not make us more money, right? So an asset is something you buy and it makes you more money. So if you buy an apartment, you furnish it, and then you rent it out to 2 students, that's now making you money every month and maybe paying for your mortgage. If if your computer sucks and you run an online business, you buy a new laptop, indirectly, that's actually going to make you more money, right? But if you buy new sunglasses, if you buy new headphones, et cetera, most of the purchases that we do, they actually don't make us more money. So I wanted to bring this up, because today is going to be an opportunity to actually buy an asset. I'm going to buy you something, I'm going to present something to you that you can buy, and it's going to allow you to, one, make more money if you get more clients, but more than that, it's also going to open up your day, right? We're going to save you a bunch of time. And I really think you're going to like this. So what it is this online program that I've created called Accelerate and Automate. So let me share what goes into Accelerate and Automate. The sales automation module, I just told you the Audi story, right? The sales automation is all about that. How do you actually create a salesman website, that's totally everything that you need, collects leads, close the sales for you, using all the triggers. That's what the sales automation about. This is how, the thing that I had happen to me today, where I was on the computer, a $4,000 sale came in. I checked with my partner if he had talked to this guy before, and he's like, no, I've never heard of him. That's what I want for you in the sales automation module. And then we've got the delivery automation module, and I know this is very attractive, this module, for people that are running a service business similar to mine, because a lot of us, as we get a few clients come in, we get really swamped, right? Because we end up being that guy in a hostel on the floor, right? That's what this is all about. This is how you get somebody, you get a project manager, but also how you get some of the systems in place. So there's a lot of time to be saved by using software and using, I guess, certain strategies to save yourself a bunch of time when you're dealing with clients. So that's what the delivery automation is all about. And then we've got the scaling module, which is all about doubling down on what's already working. And it's also about improving, doing these 1% improvements that really stack on top of each other. So I've put some conservative values here. $3,000 for the sales automation module. For most of you, if you actually automated your sales and had brought in, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 clients, you'd probably have your $3,000 right there. And time is, you save 1 or 2 hours a week or per day. That value gets back to you pretty damn quickly. And I've put a super conservative $1,000 estimate on the scaling module. But again, this is one of those things where you can make one change and that would get your money back there. So there's a total value here of $7,000. And I want to ask you, how much is your time worth? Because one of the things that I've realized as well is, especially as I'm getting older, we're all getting older every year, I don't know if you feel the same, but it definitely feels that my time is getting increasingly more valuable. And if you compare it to money, more money is great. And, I've never stopped receiving money ever. I can get money today, or we did make a sale today, and I can get it tomorrow. But, that's kind of the same kind of money, but the time that that's already passed in your life, it's never coming back again. There's going to be a time when there's no more time. So my time is getting increasingly more valuable. So it's just something to think about, because automating your business, a big part of that, a big, I think, draw for people about Accelerate and Automate is that I'm going to be able to help you free up your day. So one of the main questions that comes in is, who does this work for? And the obvious one is the service businesses, the web design companies, the lead gen, the PPC, the SEO, the app development, the video production like mine, image editing. There's an endless amount of online service businesses. And since this course was made from my own perspective, where I've automated a service business, it was specifically designed for companies like this, but it will also work for products businesses. The difference here is really that the sales module, I think, is going to be more attractive to products businesses. And the reason for that is, when you create a service, when we create a video for our clients, client A's video and client B's video are going to be totally different. There's creativity involved. Whereas if I sell sunglasses and somebody buys sunglasses, there's not too much to automate there. I can get a virtual assistant and I can handle that way, which is something that will be covered as well. But I really think if you are a products business, the sales automation is probably more interesting to you. So when I created this training, I basically had 2 options. My first option is to go as cheap as possible. I would try to sell as many as possible. It wouldn't really incentivize me to really stack the value, though. So my second option is, it requires a little bit more of an investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to guarantee that success. And I'm going to talk more about some of the bonuses, and that's where you can really see where that extra investment on my end to provide the resources sort of comes into play. And I want to talk a little bit about Rodrigo. Some of you guys on here know about Rodrigo. He's got an amazing story of coming from El Salvador. But I wanted to show you what he's done. So here's something that he wrote for me. I implemented some of the things in Accelerate and Automate. He's one of the students in there, with the hope that I would get this done in 3 months. In 2 months, I had $4,000 in automated sales and a second team built, so I didn't have to spend time on it. So Rodrigo's awesome. He's one of those people who, like, when he sees an opportunity or when he knows he has to do something, if he needs money to do it, like, he just doesn't think about it. He just acts on it. He's one of those just absolute executors. So I just wanted to share that. I mean, what did he do? Did 4K in 2 months. So yeah, in 2 months I had 4,000 automated sales and a second team built to totally automate the production of that. Cool. So cover this again real quick. What's included? The sales automation module, delivery automation module, and the scaling module. We've got a total value here of $7,000. But let's talk about some of the bonuses. You know, every week I get on and I do a coaching call with the students in this group. So what I've done here is I've actually included 8 of those calls, totally included. It's not extra. And this is where, you know, you can come on, you can ask your questions, you can listen to other people's stories, you can learn from some of the automations that the other people have done or some of the tweaks they might have done to their website. And this is actually one of my favorite things. So I get on the call each week, and it's one of those things where, like, I talk to the guys and the girls in the course, and they, you know, they ask their questions, and everyone's awesome. And, you know, I always end the calls thinking, like, God, that was so awesome. I can't wait for the next one. And I want to share another little testimonial from one of the students. His name is Fabian, and I love this guy. He's French. And Fabian, what he did was he adjusted a few things on his website. He added one thing at the end of all his emails, and he has never watched any of the content. Today, at this point, he has not watched any of the content. So what Fabian does is he only shows up to the phone calls, and the stuff that he adjusted on his website, the thing that he added at the end of his email, that was something that he learned coming on the call and asking a few questions. So here's what he writes. And I'm going to read this to you, and I'll just role play here. So since he's French, let's do it in his voice. Changes are minor and results are decent. So I guess when I do big changes, as per your recommendation, results will be insane. Obviously, use the video. No problem. And I go, do you have any rough idea of the extra money you've made so far? Roughly $1,000 profit. So I love that testimonial because it really kind of illustrates the value that you can get out of showing up to the calls. He literally hasn't watched the content, just shows up on the calls. He did these 2 things, and you know, just a few weeks into the course, and he's made $1,000 in profit back. So I just absolutely love that one. He's a legend. I'm just checking the comments here, guys. Can't wait for your Irish accent. Oh man, I think there's a Kiwi accent in there too, but I have to I have to work on those. But cool, guys. Let's talk about bonus number 2. This is one of the main things that people were asking for. What about the templates? What about the emails? What about the autoresponders? One big thing that I get asked about is what about, you know, what's your hiring process like? And obviously, when you're automating stuff, you need a bunch of tutorials. And the good news is there's a lot of kind of off-the-rack, inexpensive softwares out there, but there's a massive learning curve. So I am a super, super practical guy. And this is one thing that I've gotten good feedback on from the course, is that this is not a theoretical course. Like, I show you exactly how to set things up. And I've even, like, I write the emails. You can grab my emails, you can grab my templates, and like literally just follow exactly what I do in the video and just customize it to your business. So that's bonus number 2. Put $1,000 value on that. And yeah, I'm calling it pretty conservative given the results that I've seen. So let's do a recap. What you're going to get if you decide to join us. You get the sales automation module. You get the delivery automation module. You get the scaling module. You get 8 weekly coaching calls. And by the way, if you want to kind of join later on, you can for a small fee get on all of the calls if you want. You also get the recommended software tutorials, the autoresponders, the emails, the hiring process, all that stuff. So if we summarize that, we're now at a total value of $10,000 bucks. Now let me ask you, if all this did for you was it brought in 1 new client per month? Would it be worth it? If all this did for you was it saved you 1 hour per week for the rest of your life, so you can spend it with your friends and family, would that be worth it? And finally, what if this actually let you take a real holiday, the kind of holiday that I've been talking about in this whole webinar, where you can actually go travel somewhere and you don't have to worry that sales are going to come in or not, or that clients are being delivered to? Would that be worth it to you? Just wanted to put that in here because I really think it kind of puts things into perspective. So guys, here I've got a New Zealand testimonial. Unfortunately, I'm not going to embarrass myself because I haven't put enough practice in on my Kiwi accent. But I love this one. This is something I was chatting to Dylan, who's one of the other students, the other day, and he's told this to me, and I loved it. He says, "Cool, thanks. Getting into project automation today. ActiveCampaign has freed up 80% of my time with leads just buying through my automation or setting up calls there. So sick. If the course was just like use ActiveCampaign, I would be pretty satisfied." I just really like that, because ActiveCampaign, by the way, if you don't know, it's an email software, right? So this is something that I go in depth on in the program. And if you don't use ActiveCampaign, there are many other versions to do it. I think the theories and the stuff that I teach are very much, you can apply the same thing in any of the softwares. But I use ActiveCampaign. It's really good. So that's the one that I kind of use to show how it's all set up. And I absolutely love reading this because, it's cool when you do it for yourself, but it's extra cool when you can show somebody else and they can have the same success in their business. And this is exactly what I had happen to me. So when I realized that Dylan had, been able to pull that off with his business as well, that was just super awesome. I really, really enjoyed that. Cool. So guys, what's a new client worth to you? Let's think about that. If you got a new client on Autopilot, what is that worth to you? Everyone's running a different business, right? Is it $300? Is it $1,000, $2,000, $5,000, or more? Again, we all run different businesses, but the interesting question here is, how much would you pay to get a new client, whether it's every month, every week, or even every day? If it was $5,000, let's just say it was $5,000 and you got 1 new client per month and it saved you 1 hour per week, that'd be a pretty good deal, I think. So if it was $5,000, it would be a good deal. And here's the thing, guys. You can actually go right now and buy this course. It's up on a website for $19.97. But you've been sitting here on the webinar. I'm going to treat you a little special. So what we are going to do is I'm dropping it to $9.97. Now, this is a limited offer, right? There's a deadline on this. When this deadline runs out, you will be redirected to the regular $19.97 price. But I'm adding even another option to get a good deal on this, because I know that a lot of people, they join this program and they either have a friend who runs a business or an acquaintance who also want to do something similar, or they've got, I don't know, a family member or even an employee or something like that. So what I've done is you can actually get 2 logins and you can split the cost between 2 people. That way you can get it down for effectively $750 each. So if you have somebody in mind that you know is interested, hit them up and see if maybe that's something that they want to do. That way you can make it a little easier on yourself. And what you can do right now is actually go to the website and check it out. So the URL is on the bottom here. It's just robert.michaelis.com/AA for Alcoholics Anonymous. No, sorry, Accelerate Anonymous. Best joke, right? So that's the deal, guys. It's $9.97 for the next about 7 days, and then the time runs out. Or you can get 2 logins for $14.97, and you're going to get all those things that I've been talking about. But why stop there? Let's keep the bonuses coming. Now, I'm pretty excited about this bonus, okay? This is bonus number 3. I call it Influencer Exposure Hacks. Now, I'm really excited about this because let's take a look at something. There's a bunch of influencers here. You might know some of them. Here we've got, by the way, instavideos.co is a company that I started a while back. It was featured on the Ask Gary Vee show. On the left, we've got Lewis House posting the video and tagging us in the video. I think combined, there's about 20,000 views on our video right there. you've got people in the comments asking Lewis, who made this video. Lewis eventually even gave me his phone number. He's like, yeah, just send the video here. I thought that was pretty cool. And then on the bottom right, we have somebody who I had never heard of at the time, but he actually hit me up. So Steve Weatherford is a total badass. As you can see, 300,000 followers. Guy has a Super Bowl ring. So he's a total badass. He even hit me up. And here's the thing though. The way I did this was actually very easy. It was very inexpensive. And I'm going to be teaching a master class. It's just going to be one class where I show you the tactic that I used. And again, it's super cheap. It's basically, you're going to produce something, okay? And you're going to send it to them. So we're talking like less than, you know, $30. So the thing was though, this company is something that I shut down pretty quickly. But if I would have continued with this and I would have, you know, made a process out of this tactic that I used to get this kind of exposure and just kept doing that, this thing would have blown up. So I'm actually going to be teaching that as well. And I'm super excited about that because honestly, guys, this has nothing to do with automation, right? But the kind of sales that you can get from this is crazy. And I mean, let's do a little recap here because I put another conservative estimate of $2,000 on the influencer exposure hacks, but just the Gary Vee shout out alone was worth way more than that. Okay, so to recap again, you've got the sales automation module, you got the delivery automation module, you got the scaling module, you've got the live coaching calls where Frenchie will be, and you can come talk to Fabian, and you can maybe replicate his results. And we've got the recommended software tutorials, you know, the emails and all of that good stuff, the hiring and the autoresponders and all that. And we've got the influencer exposure hacks, how to really get some crazy good exposure for literally very little money. So now we're looking at a total value of $12,000. But as you know, you can get Accelerate and Automate today or for the next roughly 7 days, or you can get 2 logins for $14.97, split it with a friend, split it with somebody that you like, and you can effectively get it for $7.50. And of course, 30-day guarantee. You know, I used to work as a salesman in a like a phone store, right? I was selling phone contracts, and one of the things I hated about that job was, you know, somebody would come in one day, they would sign up for a contract, like a 2-year contract, and then they would leave, and they would, you know, and then something would happen in their life. They might move somewhere else or whatever it was, and they would come back and they would say, "Can I cancel my contract?" And there was, you know, just company policy, and there was basically no way to get out of it. And I absolutely hated that. And I remember thinking to myself, like, when I have my own business and I'm in that position, I'm not going to like force people to keep paying me when they don't want to be there. I don't think it's a good idea because, you know, sure, maybe that month you will have more money in your company's pocket, but in the long term, people are not going to like dealing with you. So I'm not going to be one of those people who's going to like fight you for your refund. So if you sign up today and you check it out, you actually implement some stuff, join the weekly calls to get a feel for it. But you know, if you do that and you still don't like it, or you know, you just feel like it's not going to work for you, just let me know within 30 days and we'll refund your money. It's not a problem. I'm not going to be like that old company that I used to work for. So now you got 2 choices. Don't do anything. Continue as before. Hope for magic to happen. That's one option. Second option is to make the small investment today. Compared to all the value you'll get, I think you'll realize that it's worth giving it a shot, especially if you, again, find a friend and maybe get your price down even a bit more. And if this works, you know, that's awesome. That's really good, and I hope it will. If not, again, worst case scenario, within 30 days, ask for your money back and you will have it. So again, the real question here is going to be, if you got 1 new client per month and saved yourself 1 hour per week, how long would it actually take you to recoup that investment? And then the honest answer of that is going to depend on your situation, but that will maybe help you make a decision. So a lot of other opportunities, you know, they can take years to recoup your investment, but for most of us, I think, that are selling online services, you're going to get your money's worth with 1 to 3 sales, and especially if you sprinkle some hours on top that you save yourself every week that you can spend, I don't know, with your family or doing adventures or playing golf or watching YouTube videos, whatever your poison might be, I think you're gonna find that it's definitely worth it. Another thing I want to bring up just before we wrap up today is, actually, I want to also show you it, by the way. I want to show you what it looks like. But I brought up Rodrigo before. Rodrigo's such a badass, and he's such an executor. He's my friend, and he was even, he was willing to pay me money to coach him to automate his business. And I just love that because it says so much about the guy. He, again, comes from El Salvador, just dealt a pretty poor hand. And even still, he's willing to take his money and invest it and even pay one of his friends to actually help him automate his business. And he's like, you get on a call with Rodrigo, you find something that he needs to do, and I tell him about it, and like we can't even hang up the call or the phone before he's executing. And that's the kind of person that's like just relentless, just gonna execute until he's gonna get where he wants to be. And then there's an unnamed guy. I'm pretty sure he will never see this, But so this guy was selling, I think it was some type of DNA test or something. So he comes to me, I put content out there. People come to me pretty frequently these days and ask for advice, which that's cool. I appreciate that. So this guy comes to me, he shows me his sales page, if you can call it that. And he's like, hey man, how do I sell this thing? And I look at it and I kind of think about it. And then I actually take the time out of my day to write exactly what he needs to do, like step by step, like, all right, here's what you do. And then I send it to him and he's like, all right, cool, thanks, I'll think about it. And I'm like, shaking my head. I'm like, and I wrote back, I'm like, think about what? You just asked me what to do. I know what's going to work for you because I've done this. And I told you exactly what to do. What's there to think about? And I don't know what he responded after that, but like, it speaks volumes about that guy, right? Because I literally gave him the recipe and he wasn't willing to take the recipe and do the thing that I told him. And I just think that speaks so much of him. So the point here, guys, is be a Rodrigo, be an executor. Okay, mywebsite.com, let's take a look at that. Now, that's not the link, but let me show you, if you're ready to make this investment, let me show you how to do it. So what's gonna happen is, you are going to go to this page, and you can see the buttons are right at the top. I've got a bit of a sales page here. You can take a look at that if you want. There's a bit more information, but the important thing is either you get the 1 user or the 2 users. It's pretty simple. You can just click 1 user, and then you just type in your email, purchase this now. And there you go. Now I'm taking a PayPal, and you just fill that out, and you just do probably a PayPal account on the top here. And you'd pay with your PayPal, and you'd be in. You'd get an email, and you could start consuming the content. So it's pretty easy. That's how you do that. So, okay, one last time. This is the stack, the sales automation module, the delivery automation module, the scaling module, the coaching calls, the software tutorials, the templates, the autoresponders, the emails, and that exciting influencer exposure hacks is also something you're going to get access to. It's $12,000 worth of value. And if you didn't sign up immediately, there's probably 2 reasons. Number one is you can't afford it right now. Now, if I'm honest, I'm not really a sales guy. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have the money, that sucks. If you really want it, you don't have the money, and that sucks. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not going to try to convince you to go take out a loan or something like that. The only thing I can tell you is if you find a buddy that wants to split it with you, you can get the price down a bit. But that's pretty much all I have on that one. Reason number 2 might be you're not sure it'll work for you. In that case, again, if you're running an online service business, I guarantee it'll work for you. If you're running a products business, you'll definitely be able to find some stuff as far as automating your sales go. And if you haven't automated your delivery, you can definitely do that. But if you already have a VA and stuff, maybe you won't get as much out of it, but I'm pretty sure you'll still be able to get a couple of sales come in because of the stuff that you're going to learn here. But again, the worst case scenario is you try it out and you got 30 days. If you don't feel like it's going to work for you or you're not going to get your money's worth, then just send me an email and we'll refund you. So yeah, cool. And yeah, I'm nothing special in that sense, guys. You saw me on the floor. I wasn't wasn't good at business when I started, or managing people. I didn't know which software to use to automate my business and how to do it. It really took me a while, but eventually I learned that I could automate my business. So I'm pretty sure anyone else can do it, especially those of you who actually have a business up and running. Let me show you what's on the inside, though. This is it's kind of cool, right? So, I think it's cool. So here's what it looks like on the inside. Once you become a member, you log in. We've got the different courses or the lessons here, the leads machine, the salesman website, traffic sources, customer service and sales rep hiring, what happens after you make a successful sale. We've got starting projects and project manager and delivery. This is a big one because there's a lot of good stuff you can do when you deliver to people, as far as upselling and making more money. We've got some bonuses here. We've got all the replays of the previous calls and active campaign, and there's going to be just more stuff added here all the time. So it's going to be just a bunch more stuff added, including the master class. So that's kind of what it looks like. Typically what happens is there's a video and there's a bit of a summary and there's a questions thing at the bottom. So we have people kind of commenting and leaving their questions, and I can jump in there, or other people can jump in there and help each other out. And that's pretty much what it looks like. And I think it's pretty cool. So that's the inside of Accelerate and Automate. But now it's time to say goodbye before I give you the little bonuses. But we're not going to say goodbye to each other. We're going to say goodbye to shitty clients. If you jump in on this course and you're actually going to join us, I think it's time to say goodbye to having to deal with clients. Again, that guy that was sitting on the floor, he was pretty happy to do that. I just thought clients were taking up too much of my time all day. So say goodbye to dealing with shitty clients. I'm sure most of us have had them at some point, and this maybe sounds kind of bad, but someone else is going to have to deal with them now. The other thing you can say goodbye to is stress. I really found that, I had some financial stress and some stress of just, working a lot before. But given the extra time that I had during my day to actually increase our sales, because I wasn't busy delivering to clients, it allowed us to kind of double our sales and really stop stressing financially. And again, the other thing is just being busy. Like whenever a client would email us, I knew that I had work to do, and that I found extremely, extremely stressful. Whether it was waking up in the morning and checking the email for the first time, or whether it was like literally trying to be on a holiday, but that like people are waiting for you, and you check your email and you're like, shit, there's 22 emails here that I got to deal with. That was super stressful. It was like just a massive weight on your shoulder, and every time you opened your inbox, at least for me, it was like my heart just sank. I'm like, oh, here we go again. So it was just, say goodbye to that. Take that weight off your shoulders if you're going to join us. Cool, guys. It's time for me to give you some of the bonuses. So if you want, you can go grab my six-figure website. Just take that URL and put it in your browser. And I think what you have to do is you can create a ClickFunnels account free for 2 weeks, and you can actually edit this template that I built. So by the way, this is just our sales page, but a template version. So you can just, kind of change the content in there and make it work for your business. So you can do that. You'll get ClickFunnels free for 2 weeks. And if you continue after that, we get a small commission. But I think even if you don't want to do that, there's like a preview link. So once you click on this link, I think towards the bottom somewhere, it says preview, or you can preview the pages. And that will actually allow you, if you just want to model it straight off of the way that it looks, you can do that, and you don't even have to get ClickFunnels. I shouldn't be telling you that, but I'm not doing this to get your affiliate commission. And let's talk about the 3 tips. I'm pretty excited to share these. They're tiny, and you might have done some of them already, but they actually can make a difference. Again, guys, each automation effort is a potential new client gained and/or hour saved. So here are some of those. Add your sales page URL in your email signature. Now, don't just put the link there like most people do. Get your actual headline. I hope you have a good headline on your website. So what you do is you take your headline, you throw it in your email signature, and then you mark the whole thing, and you turn that into a link, and you link your page from your signature. So now every time you send an email, there's a potential of somebody clicking your link. Now, I haven't tracked it, but I bet you there's 1 or 2 or 3 sales that comes out of that. We talked about this one, offer an incentive to buy more than one. This one little paragraph, in 3 weeks, we had 5 clients take us up on it. 5 clients that bought 3 videos. One person had done it in the 5 years before that. So don't underestimate this one. You know, if you're selling websites, maybe get creative, you know, buy one, get 20% off the next one, and then have them find a friend or something to get the second website, or maybe they have several businesses. But get creative on that one. I think you'll be able to figure something out. And yeah, again, each automation effort is a potential new client gained and or hour saved. So do these things. And the last thing is, set up an email that sends out the day after you deliver your thing, offering a discount plus a finder's fee if they refer a friend. So after we deliver a video, we'll automatically have an email go out the next day to the client, and the email offers a 50, it basically asks them, do you have any friends that, or acquaintances, whatever, that might be interested in a video? And if you refer somebody, we'll give you 50 euro back, or if they can put it towards another video with us. Your friend is going to get a 50 euro discount, and we get a new client. So it's a win-win-win situation. Again, this is one email. It takes about 5 minutes to set it up. And this is one thing that's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 new clients in a year. And that really, really makes a difference when you do these little things. That's what it's all about. All right, guys. Okay, one last time. What you're going to get if you join us, you get the sales automation, the delivery automation, the scaling module, the 8 weekly coaching calls, the recommended software tutorials, influencer exposure hacks, total value, 12,000. And when the timer runs out, it's going to go back to the standard $19.97 price, but it is available for $9.97, or get 2 logins for $14.97. Split it with a friend and effectively get it for $7.50. You got the link on the bottom, robert.michaelis.com/AA. And yeah, that's it. Now, if anyone wants to throw in some questions here at the end, that's cool. I'll try to answer them. So if you have any questions, you can write them in the comments, but you're gonna have to be quick because we've been on for quite a while and I don't wanna take up everyone's time. But guys, I'm loving the interaction here. I'm reading your comments. Definitely a lot of laughing. I guess this was a pretty funny webinar, which this is good. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll hang around for like 1 minute. If you have any short questions, I'll try to answer them. So Andrew asked, when are you starting? So you can, if you get in, like, you can get in right away. Like, the content's there. So once you sign up, the content's there. You get access right away. You can have it literally in like 2 minutes. So it's already started. Yeah, this was great, guys. This was an awesome webinar. I really enjoy it. Maybe I'll have to make some more of them. Miguel says, good webinar, sure. Cool, guys. I'm really loving all the interaction, and I'm hoping you got something out of it. At the very least, you really got your head around this. Well, the one thing I want you to take away from it is that each automation is a potential new client gained and or hour saved, because once you really believe in that, you're really going to start to take action on this. So whether you get my course or not, that's really, it doesn't matter. You know, once you start executing on that, that's when you're going to see a big difference in your business. So yeah. Sorry, Andrew, to clarify, he was asking about the 8 calls. So the calls are running. The calls are every week. And you know, the people, depending on when people join, the 8 calls will start from when they join. So I do the calls every week. Now, if you join now, or if you join 4 weeks from now, you're still going to get your 8 calls. And once your 8 calls are up, you will have the option to you know, join for another month for a small fee if you want to do that. And yeah, that's how it works. And yeah, the calls are really awesome. It's where people really get a bunch of value. I mean, you saw Fabian's testimonial. He literally haven't watched any of the content, and he pretty much got his money back within a few weeks. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, yeah, I'm just really loving the engagement here, guys. I'm reading all your comments now. Thanks for showing up, guys. I think what we'll do is wrap it up here. But if you do have any last-minute questions, let me do a add a little slide here just on the go. Questions? Bam. If you've got any questions about this, hit me up, support@nickelius.com, and I'll be able to answer them. So 1,000 thanks, guys, for showing up. Don't forget to say goodbye to shitty clients and all that, and then we'll say goodbye to each other here. Franklin says, thanks for the webinar. Thank you, man. Thanks, Ian. Is being kicked out of somewhere. Gotta go. Cool. Thanks to Andrew, Nick, all you guys showing up. I'm gonna end it here. Everybody have an awesome day, and I'll catch you soon. Ciao.